Alright, Kiss Army, it's time to drop the needle, kiss my wax.
Hello everyone, welcome to the next episode of Kiss My Wax. I'm one of your co-hosts, Jason Herndon, and we got Tom Shannon with us here today. And
afternoon, evening.
That's right, and we're flying just by solo, us two. We don't have any special guests set up or anything. So, but anyway, this week we're going to cover Dress to Kill, and just a little background on the record. Released March 19th, 1975, is the band's third album. It's if you're not super familiar, they're in the suits on the streets on the album cover, and at this point in time, Kiss was struggling to sell records, I guess, and they were kicking them in the studio and kicking out records as fast as they could. But this record's particularly short. What does this thing run, like 30 minutes or something like that?
Very short.
Yeah, very short. And I think I remember reading someone saying, people pointing out that the gaps in between the songs were a little longer to try to make the album seem a little longer. But so anyway, we're just going to get into the different variations of Dress to Kill and some singles, and hopefully Tom has some print ads, and maybe we'll touch on a few other subjects as we go along. But let's
sounds good.
Let's get into it, boss.
Well, before we go too far into it, have you got anything that you've received open?
I was thinking, I haven't bought anything lately. So I think my answer is no. I don't have anything to open, and I don't think I've gotten anything in the past month, which is all right. What about you?
Well, I actually got some stuff and just came in the other day, and plus I've been really fortunate. And I don't mind saying this because we're going to have a delay. And by the time you guys hear where I'm at, it's too late. I'm like locusts when I hit a town. I drain every record store of any Kiss. And I'm in Columbus, Ohio right now for work. And it's probably one of the best towns I've ever been in for record stores. I was there for about 6 months, about 3 years ago. And just a ton of good record stores up there. And, so I've hit those. I've had a lot of luck with some different things. I got a Columbia Record Club copy of Asylum the other day. I got a Columbia Record Club Filmworks label, Alive, and I actually have another Columbia Records Club Camel label that's headed my way from one of the members of the group. So, it's kind of excited about those. I'm not a big fan of Record Club records as far as the quality of them or whatever, because they're just exactly like you remember. They're just flimsy as can be. But, one of the things I've never seen, Jason, I don't know if you have, I've never seen a Record Club pressing that is a blue label. Have you ever seen one?
Not off the top of my head that I can recall. No.
All right. And I'm going to show you something here in a minute, and we'll talk about people's memories and stuff and how this gets kind of weird too. But I'm going to show you something here in a minute. But anyway, so been enjoying going in, buying all those records, but also I got and I've already pulled these out, but I just got them in last night, got a chance and everything. And, but I got a nice shipment from my buddy Kevin in Canada of a bunch of blue label quality pressings. All these are first pressings except for the first LP. It's a 7001. And Canada, I'm getting more and more into these Canadian pressings, and I'll just be honest with you, I never had any interest in them before. Just really didn't up until about a year or so ago.
Right.
Because they pretty much mirror the U.S. presses. There'll be some subtle changes. Like the fact I'm calling those a blue quality label. It literally says Quality Records at the label. Other than that, it looks like the U.S. one. So. Not really too unique, but then you get into some really unique pressings. When we do our show on the originals, we'll show those. They've got multiple variations of the originals up there. There's a lot of label variations, but just to the first record of the 3 records in there, the other 2 stay consistent for some reason. That's kind of interesting, and we talked on a Rock and Roll Over show about how their sticker is non-segmented. like the U.S. one.
Right.
So there's some things there. And you know what really got me going on this, you know, because I've got there's 3 members of the page that you know, that are Canadian, that I Denny and Kevin and oh gosh, I'm gonna screw his name up. I know, Saint Germain, Gene, whatever. You know, I have a hard time butchering people's names, so I apologize about that. But you know, they've been really good trading partners to get this Canadian stuff. And just as I've started gathering, you know, think about it for a minute. So they did unique pressings just for Canada. What's the population of Canada? I don't know. I don't know.
It's not
Not
very
anywhere
high.
near the population of the United States.
No, not even close.
So you have to think that there are nowhere near the sheer volume of the pressings of
Right.
each one, and there are a lot of variations. I mean, in some cases, I mean, they pretty much mirror the U.S., but then there are some of their releases that have more variations than the U.S., and the number of them is so small. Now, I keep telling people, you know, it isn't just the supply that, you know, makes an LP valuable. If you're into that, even maybe you're not even into them being valuable, but the demand has to also be there. And I think the demand is not very strong in vinyl right now, but it wasn't on South American vinyl ago either. And look at the prices you have to pay for Kiss vinyl from Argentina and Brazil. So, you know, so that's you know, that's part of why I've been really interested in gathering, you know, the pressings from up there. So, you know, anyway, so that's what I got as far as in the mail. People's memories. So I think, you know, Jason, wouldn't you agree that one of our main goals with the page and the podcast is as much to show information and share information, it's just as much to debunk false information.
That more so, in my
Yeah,
opinion.
I
Yes.
think so. I think
Yes.
so. I think so. You know, as people are just getting into collecting the vinyl, you know, it's great that, you know, they find out about pressings they don't know about, you know. But you know, you start running into problems when people start. I use that term unicorns. When people start chasing unicorns, and I know that I've written this several times. I don't know if I've told this or not, but I spent 20 years looking for a copy of Double Platinum from the United Kingdom on red vinyl. Okay, because somewhere in my stack of Goldmine magazines or Discoveries magazine, you know, that were so prominent before eBay, before the internet, I know I saw in there somebody was selling a red vinyl copy of Double Platinum. Made sense to me. They had all the other red vinyl over
Right.
there. And dude, I searched and I searched and I searched. And about 2 years ago, thanks to a Facebook page and a posting on there, I realized I was chasing a unicorn. It was these ridiculous, people are into these translucent records where you hold them up to the light
Right.
and you can see color through them. And that was the freaking red vinyl that this guy sold back then.
Wow.
So, unicorn debunked. Tom
Right.
no longer looks for a red vinyl double platinum. It doesn't exist. And so where we start to run into problems is, you know, sometimes people intentionally mislead collectors on what an item is or something that they've seen that exists. I had a guy contact me one time years ago, and he said that he had a copy of the Alive booklet, and he said certain pages, and I can't remember. He quoted exactly the pages that were turned upside down in the book. And so as I'm sitting there thinking about it, you know, and I mean, what is that? Is that let's see, 1, 2, 3, is that an 8 or is that a 12-page booklet? I can't remember.
Page.
Yeah. So the way, you know, so that's 8-page booklet is actually 4 sheets of paper.
Right.
That are folded in the middle and then they're printed on both sides. And the way he described this, there was no way that could have been done. You know, I mean, at first I'm thinking, oh, well, they must have just, you know, one of them's upside down, but it didn't make sense. And so I said, do me a favor, can you send me a picture of that? And of course he never did because it didn't exist. I don't know why people want to do like that, but some people do.
all the time.
Yeah. And I don't get it. I don't get it, and I hear the phrase or read the phrase, and it's from multiple people. I see it multiple times. We should keep an open mind about stuff.
Right.
And you know what? That's true to an extent. But you should keep a skeptical open mind.
I agree with that totally.
Yeah. Last week on the page, what went on with the Japanese solo box set?
Oh, had that. Well, yeah, I was the one that posted that picture of that auction that guy was talking about, where it looked like there was a booklet with the same logo on the box.
Yep.
That was
Yep.
in the picture.
And where did that go? And no disparaging to Julian does an awesome job with that site.
Yeah.
But somebody said, "Hey, I saw somebody."
It was me.
I said that it was quoted there, and so now a bunch of people, well, this must be it. It has to be it.
Yeah.
I'm like, whoa, time out.
Slow
Let's
down. Slow your roll.
Yeah. And then we had a member, Luther, who showed a brochure,
right,
that was a legit thing for that, and it was very term I'm looking for. It wasn't square, rectangular.
Right.
It was like tall, skinny pieces, like a single sheet of paper folded in two. And so, he was wondering, well, could that be it? And I'm like, I don't think so, because this other thing doesn't look like this. And well, let's just keep, people saying, let's keep an open mind. And I'm like, okay, but if you just believe everything with an open mind, like I put on there, you will soon be the proud owner of an $800 counterfeit copy of Creatures of the Night with Vinnie Vincent on it, because it happened to people.
Yeah.
And so let's my statement on that also was, based on what I saw, if I was in the market for that box set, I would bid on it, and I would not give an extra nickel in value to whatever this was.
Right.
And what did it turn out to be?
A cutout of another box.
Yeah, cut out another box, which is kind of cool.
But
it wasn't even remotely what everybody thought it was.
No, and I think that auction sold.
It probably did.
No, I think it did at that high amount, because
which is crazy. Somebody thought they were getting something they weren't getting.
Right.
It's happened before. Probably a year and a half ago, there was a Mexican copy of Dressed to Kill, of all things that we're talking about.
Yeah.
Clear vinyl. I saw the pictures of it, and I'm like, whoa, now. Anybody ever seen this? Nobody's ever seen it.
All right.
I do know the person, and he's a very well-respected collector, and I'm not going to mention him. He would mention himself if he wanted to. I very much respect this person, and he is he has the means that the bid that won that record was not going to harm him financially. Okay, right. And that's why I can say that. And so he never received the record. Never received the record. Now he got his money back. But so where'd the record go? I don't think it existed. I think it was somebody's Photoshop dream, and I don't know if they thought they were going to rip somebody off, or maybe they were thinking about making some of those. Who knows? But again, man, we are 40 plus years.
40 plus years, yeah.
If this stuff is, I'm not saying stuff can't show up.
Sure, of course.
I mean, look at the find that somebody got that I bought from them of all these Peter Criss LP stands.
Right.
I mean, they're the real deal, and where they've been all this time, I don't know.
In a box somewhere. That auction, yeah, that's not going to. It sold for $955.
Well, hopefully they're satisfied with it. That's a lot of money. A lot of money for that.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't have paid that.
No. Yeah.
But we just need to be logical with stuff. It's like there's a big uproar in the community, literally today, where a person that's been kind of a respected seller, and I'm not mentioning a name, so if anybody thinks that this reflects on them, well, then you must have a guilty conscience or something. But this person has been a very well respected person in the collecting field, and this person has had basically, it appears to me, and he's a nice guy when you communicate with him, has had essentially an unlimited supply of autographed pictures, records, just crazy amounts of stuff. And so today, somebody sent some of the autographs to be authenticated, and the authentication company, and they're well respected, are saying that it's fake. Now I'm gonna tell you that I am surprised about that. I think I've been on the record the way I feel about authenticators and people that value that in any way. I think authenticator can tell a really bad forgery, just like me and you can. And I don't think that an authenticator can tell a master forger at all.
Right.
And I don't think I can, because they are master forgers. Master forgers didn't just pop up today. They're littered with them.
Sure,
just
absolutely.
Littered with them. And it's not like they disappeared just because suddenly there's more customers out here. No, I mean, they're out there. So authenticators, in my opinion, are just like if I give a certificate of authenticity based on my name, saying, hey, this is part of the Vinny Gonzalez collection that I bought. Okay, that's not worth wiping your butt with. It just isn't. It's not worth the paper it's written on. And an authenticator, they're essentially an insurance agent, is what they are. You pay them to authenticate this item. If they say it's authentic, they will stand behind that. And I really don't know what they do. If they just give you your money back, or if they give you an additional amount, I'm sure they'll sell you something like that. And that's all it's about. So that if you sell that item and somebody else says, I don't think it's real, and they take it and get it checked, they're going to back it up. Beyond that, an authenticator is no good for anything.
Right.
You just wasted your money. So there has to be a better solution one day, hopefully. But we're just littered with this right now. Want to believe the best. Some of it's personal greed, and I'm not saying that in a negative way. I'm saying that is just the way human psychology is.
Right.
Like if I go to a store and I buy 6 or 8 records, you can bet your butt I just got a deal on them, in my mind, because I'm not paying you full price for them. And if I did, I really, really, really wanted it bad, and I'm not coming out with the rest of them. And that's greed in a way. And it's the same thing with people. That's why they want to. I have to have this because nobody else has this. Nobody else is smart enough to realize that this was made 40 years ago, and nobody ever saw it. It just isn't the way life is. It just doesn't happen that way.
Right.
And we see some people that when we talk about this kind of stuff on the page, it's like, well, why do you care if it's resealed or not? You're supposed to be playing the record. Okay, I passed the milestone this week, by the way. I mentioned that when I got these records.
Uh-huh.
I hit 500 Kiss records. Okay?
That's it?
There's five. There are, I don't know, a dozen copies of the first LP over there.
Right.
I'm not playing every one of those.
No.
That's not why I'm collecting them. I love that music. I listen to it all the time, but I'm not playing that. So I appreciate where some people feel that, if you buy it, you should play it. Why do you care if it was falsely sealed?
Well,
because I just paid you premium for it.
Right.
That's why.
I don't understand that argument. There's a member of the group who's a valued member of the group who makes that argument.
There's a couple or 3 of them. There's
all the time. But why would you pay that premium for that plastic if you're going to pop it open? It doesn't make any sense to me. I mean, it's having a set of sealed albums is just like having a set of the West German logo albums. That is a particular subset of
that's right.
Of the Kiss catalog.
And what has happened to the value? And I feel this for people. I do. What has happened to the value of somebody's copy of the originals that was sealed that they bought 7 years ago, You know, I mean, what do you think that would have cost them?
Oh,
I mean,
probably.
I'll give you an estimate. I'll give you an estimate.
I would say
600, 700,
at
somewhere in
least,
there.
yeah.
And you're not going to get $300 for that.
In fact, a friend of
And
mine just paid way less than that for one.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And so, you know, there's no guarantee. You know, you shouldn't be collecting records as an investment. I know that. We all know it. That's not why I have those. First of all, I've got those that's reference stuff back there. Every one of those labels has been scanned and is going in the book that's coming out. Every one of the unique jackets has been photographed, well, or it's being photographed, and are going to be in the book. So, you know, I need to have that. I can't produce the book and rely on your records. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
Right.
that's not the way you do things. But you know, at the same time, I shouldn't have the value of my stuff plummet because some idiot is out there counterfeiting them, resealing them, any other way, conning people, and that's what they're doing. They're stealing.
Yeah.
They're stealing. It's no different than walking up and coming into your house and taking half the record collection.
I
You know?
agree. I agree
Which, of
totally,
course,
man.
that's of course why I employ alarms and a very vicious dog. But anyway, so you know that's kind of where we're at, and you know I really wish that, because all I care about right now is Kiss records. I wish would allow some of the subject experts on their stuff, you know, posters. The poster market is littered with counterfeits now.
Horrible. Absolutely.
And some of these guys that are collecting think it's great, and it's, you know, it's horrible that it's going on. They need somebody that's a poster expert to clear that crap up. It wouldn't take anything. They need somebody that's, you know, an LP expert.
They just needed a coin merchandise expert.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
Because it's happening
Yeah.
everywhere. Were you in on the debate on that one page with a couple of guys that are making the Pacifica?
Yes, the belt buckles.
Yes, the belt buckles. About, you know.
Explain it, because
Well,
not
I mean,
everybody was there.
It was
that made me mad.
It made me mad too. You know, it's this guy. He's making these custom belt buckles. I think he was making something like this. I didn't show that I did get this.
He did one,
right? And he's making them, putting them on very Pacifica looking belt buckles. And
they even have a prism on them.
And when he's listing them as he's got Pacifica in the title.
Yep.
If that's not clear,
prototype.
And prototype, that's the word. And if that is not clearly misleading, and his argument is, well, they are prototypes. They're the only ones I've made. So it's the prototype. But what? You know, someone clearly looks at that, finds it on eBay, and thinks they have found a coin piece of merchandise that was never released. It was a Pacifica prototype that was scrapped, and they're going to pay a premium for it. And for him to say that he's not trying to mislead people, that he's just making this for fun for a few fans that enjoy it, is a bunch of horseshit.
Yeah, it is. He knows exactly what he's doing. He knows exactly what he's doing.
Yeah, so that pissed me off.
Well, like I say, hopefully we're doing our part to try to clean up the counterfeit stuff. And you know, and just for some of the newer collectors, you know, there's a hell of a difference between bootlegs and counterfeits. Bootleg even remotely the same thing as counterfeit. You know, that is not something that's produced to evoke, to fool you into thinking it ever was produced or could have been produced. And it's not anything that, you know, it's recordings that, quite frankly, it's not going to release them.
Right.
You know, a lot of times there's little, you know, hiccups in them or whatever. And you know, so we're not going to get an opportunity to hear them otherwise unless they're put out on a bootleg. Now, you know, personally, if I was Kiss, I would take the best recordings of every one of those I could find, and I would sell them myself, you know.
Like all the other bands. Metallica makes a boatload of money. They sell every show they play, you know.
Yeah. So, you know, you think that they would do that, and if they did that, then that would probably eliminate most of that, you know. So You know, that's why I get so passionate on this stuff, because there are unfortunately crooks out there that are
Right.
trying to rip us all off.
I
So,
would have no problem with all of the fan made stuff if it was just clearly indicated on
yeah,
the item itself
yeah.
that this is, fan made, or something.
I've seen fire helmets done that way.
Yeah.
Couldn't give them away. They couldn't give them away.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's, and that's part of it. People, you know, some people that get it. I mean, you see it, like, say, with posters. They, they act like that doesn't harm the value of the originals, but it does. It takes some people out of the market, and then other people. I don't. What I bought one of the reproductions of the first solo, or I'm sorry, the first promo poster.
I have one as well. I didn't buy it. My buddy Danny Dabbs bought it.
Unrolled it. I mean, I got
Neither
it.
have
I
I.
paid $23. I did unroll it, and I thought, I just don't want to put this up.
I bought it for the, first of all, because I can't afford, an original one. Unfortunately, I'm not rich, and I thought, well, the thing looks great, so I'm
Yeah.
gonna put it on my wall.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you can't see all my wall space, but it's not up.
Yeah.
I've got probably two or 300 posters over here in tubes that
Yeah.
and that's the inside of it that is never gonna get. I will probably never unroll it. So
It makes it tough. Makes it tough.
So anyway,
All right. So that's that on that. I did want to hit one more, not really quick thing, but another area before we move on to the record itself.
he was gonna be like, "Where the hell is Dressed to Kill at?"
Yeah, well, it's a short record, so we need to make sure we do a decent show anyway. All right, so some questions came up last couple days on the site about is this record part of this pressing series? It used to be. I'm saying for me, like I used to be. Okay, well, first pressing of the first LP is on a blue label. And so basically every blue label was the same to me. It just didn't make any difference. And then I started to learn the nuances of stuff and realize that, hey man, there's a ton of different variations. But, they have to have a complete package to be able to be considered accurate, like all right, so let's skip to a record like Dress to Kill. So because we're going to talk about that. So there is a blue label pressing of that. Okay, well, there's two. It's the second blue label that came out that just doesn't have an address at the bottom of it, and then there is also the copy that's got the address at the bottom. And between those two, the outer jacket are identical. There's no way to differentiate between them. So basically, if you have, I don't care how it came to be, but if you have a copy that's got the address on it and it's got an embossed cover on it, you're good. Okay, like you could take, a bad and a good one, or that had a bad disc with a great jacket, which is, we'll talk about that. This thing's horrible to find great. And you could take another blue label copy, either blue label copy, as far as I'm concerned, that was in great shape, and put it with that great jacket, and you have that's an authentic. It's okay, Now, what you can't do, you can't take one of those blue labels and take a 83, 84 an 85 pressing that is not embossed and slide that in there. That's a Frankenstein. That's what that's called. So, so we can differentiate between that 85 pressing, what's accurate with it. It should be a polygram label, and it's, polygram filmworks label, and a non-embossed jacket. That's an 85 pressing. No ands, ifs, or buts about it. You try to tell me you got an 85 pressing and it's got a camel label in it, I'll tell you you're wrong, because it doesn't meet the criteria. Again, you have more flexibility with the blue labels. As long as it's got an embossed jacket, it doesn't matter where that embossed jacket started life from. Okay, so there's that. Now we skip up to the 83, 84 pressings, and we're not going to go fully into all that here. We've discussed it before. That is a legitimate pressing series that happened sometime. Every one of those records got pressed sometime between 1983 and 1984. I'm convinced of it. If somebody wants to prove me wrong, I'm okay with that. But the requirements to be an 83, 84 pressing is that the back of the jacket cannot have a UPC symbol printed on it. It could have a sticker on it, but it can't be printed. And somewhere on that back jacket will be a printing plant number. It may be 0501, it may be 0704, it may be any number of different things, but it has to have that. Okay, and so what it can't have, let me get a copy out here. I want to make sure I don't misquote my own cell phone here. Hey, because it can happen,
Sure, yeah, it's a lot of information.
Yeah, so but what it can't have, it can't. This is an 83, 84. The 501 up in this top corner.
Keep going. There you go.
Yeah,
clearly.
And it's non-embossed on the front. So if it's got this FilmWorks Polygram label on it, all right. So if you come to me and you've got this FilmWorks Polygram label and you've got an embossed jack, you do not have an 83, 84 pressing. You do not have an 85 pressing. And when I say 85, it's anywhere from 85 until they stop pressing. Now, there seems to be the possibility that there is another series out there, okay, between the 83, 84s and what we call a FilmWorks 1 pressing, okay? And I don't want to junk this to the term 83, 84 is going to go away. Everything in my book is documented as a FilmWorks 2 pressing, okay? But I don't want to confuse everybody right now. But that's the way it's going. That's where it's going. So, but there appears to be the possibility that there's a pressing series between the FilmWorks 1 pressings and the 83, 84 pressings or FilmWorks 2. And best that, the people I've been talking to about this, it looks like this pressing series happened from 79 to 82. And the hallmarks of it is that it has a regular FilmWorks label, no polygram mention on it, and it will have the pressing plant number on the label. Okay? So a regular FilmWorks label with a pressing plant number. All right? And then the jacket will be similar to an 83, 84. It will have a printing plant number on it. And so far, they don't seem to be in the same spot as they are on the 83, 84s. All right, I've seen them. I know they do. But what we don't know is if there's an entire series that way.
Right.
So we can't really call them that yet. Okay. Yeah. So that becomes a question. When is a pressing series?
I mean, it could have. It simply been that, the label was out of a particular, 3 or 4 records that were selling great.
Yep.
I mean, what records have you seen that are like that?
I've seen a Dynasty. I've seen, I want to say an Alive 2 and a Alive.
Well, I mean,
maybe a Love Gun.
I mean, so those are some of the
very few.
Right.
Yeah,
those are some of the better selling records. They moved. Right.
Yep.
And maybe they just had to, press some at that. I mean, that happens today in pressing.
Yeah.
It's different than it was back then because, the labels press in batches, way smaller pressings.
Yeah.
But, there's no way to differentiate in them. But, we are running at our pressing plant, we'll do 5,000 and then we'll do 5,000 more. And then we may do 2,500 and it's whatever the label needs at the end. There could be 5 or 6 or 7 different pressings of a record in a year. Nirvana, Nevermind, Universal runs out of it all the time, and we press that record. It's probably been pressed 10 different times in the past 2 years.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't be any differentiation. So I'm just saying, that situation could have been the label Casablanca or whoever at the time needed Alive 2, and Dynasty, and those are the hallmarks of them. Who knows?
Yeah.
So
well, and for me, the main points on it is though that if it's going to be a pressing series, first of all, it's got to be the majority of the catalog.
Right.
You know, to me, I mean, even with the 83, 84s, it's not the complete catalog as far as I can tell. Nobody has ever produced a U.S. pressing of the Elder with a Filmworks label. Every
Right.
one of them, every one of them's got the hand on it, and so it can't be an 83, 84 pressing by definition that many of us have come up in agreement on because it doesn't have that Polygram Filmworks label. And to me, the important part is you can't interchange between pressing series major parts, So again, even though we call that blue with Dress to Kill, there's two label variations. There's still blue label pressings, because you can change the jackets. Now, somebody's going to say, well, yeah, Tom, but don't the 83, 84 labels and discs look identical to the 85s? They kind of do, but there's differences in the matrices. And I'm not even bothering getting into that right now. At some point, that'll be important for those. It's not for so many other pressings, but it kind of is for those. But I don't think there's much demand for somebody to Frankenstein one of those anyway.
Right.
They're just not. I mean, we all look for them, but the marketplace doesn't look for those now. So there's no reason for them to Frankenstein them. So anyway, that's just my take on pressing series and what makes one and what makes something not be a series. So, anyway.
All right.
Dress to Kill.
No. Good night, everybody. We'll see.
Yeah. Talk about Dress to Kill. Talk about Dress to Kill, Jason.
I don't know what to talk about Dress to Kill. I don't have a whole lot of Dress to Kill. Oddly enough.
I think anybody does.
Yeah, even internationally and stuff like that, it's not a particular record that I have spent a lot of time hunting down, where, you have 10, 12, 15 different rock and roll overs or whatever, something with different covers from different countries,
Yeah.
I don't have but about 4, 5, or 6 here, so.
Yeah. Well, here's where Dress to Kill is unusual, especially in the general record place. In valuing LPs, of course, conditions everything, right? And so, when you look at what's the value of a blue label Dress to Kill, I mean, what do you think right off the top of your head? Just what? I mean, I respect your opinion. What do you think?
Just a regular old run-of-the-mill?
Just what you would expect to pay for Dress to Kill.
Yeah, $20, $25.
Okay.
Yeah.
What would you give for one with a mint with a mint jacket on it?
Well, I'd probably give a little bit more for it, but
Shit, I'd give a lot more for it. And that's what I'm saying. Most times when you talk about what is the value of a record, you always think in terms of, well, a mint copy would be worth this, and a very good copy is worth 50% of that, and it ain't the way with Dress to Kill. Yeah. I mean, I bet I haven't seen 3 or 4, and I know there's more, but I haven't seen 3 or 4 mint copies ever.
I have what I've talked about it in the podcast.
I know you do.
I have those promotional copies that I got that have never been played, which is what I have in front of me right now.
Yeah.
And the disappointing thing is this cover I would call dead mint. I can't see a single bit of white ring wear on it at all.
Yeah.
But somewhere along the line, somebody put something stuck on this. And there's a rip here in the cover, but you're not going to be able to tell. But other than that,
yeah.
See that thing?
Oh,
that is it. Dude,
that is very distressing. Was that on there the last time you showed that to me? I don't think
remember.
It was. I don't think it was.
Oh yeah, it definitely was, because I remember.
It was okay.
Yeah, I remember making note of it.
I don't remember saying that.
Yeah, it definitely was there, but it is dead. I mean, look, there's no white ring wear.
Like that.
That's a nice one.
That's a damn nice one. Yeah. Hey man, but here's the killer though. So I showed you my what I said was near mint copy of the promo copy of the originals.
Mm-hmm.
So like I say, I'm doing the photographs now of the jackets from a book. And dude, I got it set up now. It took me forever to get this, but I've got a light bank set and everything else, and it's set up with diffusers so it doesn't, throw glares and all that. And I took pictures of that, and I'm looking at it, and I'm wanting to cry. It just does not even look close to being near mint.
Yeah.
I mean, it just doesn't. It doesn't. And I don't think this will either.
Yeah. Well, this record, my promo copy, has definitely never had a needle touch.
Now let's talk about this.
All right.
So you got one, I've got one.
Yep.
That is one of the hardest damn records to get a promo copy of.
Yeah.
It was. Now I've you know, I'm in a real good spot here anymore, and I don't have to sell any of my records. But you know, I had a nice set of promos at one time, and I sold them because, you know, hey, when you need money, you sell the big dollar stuff.
That's right.
That Dress to Kill both times was the last record that I was able to find. I mean, it's tough. It's tough.
It's a tough
And that's part of that is why we don't have many records to talk about, and why I don't have a lot of ads to talk about. Man, Kiss and Casablanca were on their last legs here.
Yep.
Wasn't as bad as when they rolled the dice with Alive, but it showed. It showed, man. There was no promotions going on. I mean, there's a couple of, you know, promo posts, or a promo poster. It's high dollar, ugly too, man.
Yeah.
Way too busy. Way too busy. I mean, I would take it. Don't get me wrong, I'd take it, but it's just way too busy. And you know, the ads that I saw were the same way, and you know, they just didn't have much going for it on there.
Yeah.
So all right, so we looked at the promo copies, and of course, Jason, yours, I don't know if people noticed it, but yours has got a saw cut on the top, right?
Correct. That's where my saw cut is.
My saw cut sideways. I've never seen Dress to Kill in a promo that wasn't a saw cut.
Yeah.
And I know my other copy was a saw cut too. Now where it was, I don't remember. So we've got that. I got these out of order, so that was a good job, Tom.
Way go.
All right, so here was an interesting one that came up the other day, and this actually feeds back to the part about you know, our memories sometimes. And I'm not saying this person's memory is wrong; they're probably absolutely right. But you know, I remember a lot of stuff, and one of the toughest things as we try to debunk. Somebody says, "Well, I had this with this."
Right.
Can you send us a picture of it? Well, I haven't had it for 15 years.
My mother's attic.
Yeah, that one came up. I remember that. and you know, and so we've got to remember, and again, I have no reason to doubt what they're saying, but it doesn't make sense. All right, so this is a kind of a typical, this is not really all that rare, first pressing of Alive, of Dress to Kill. And I'm falling over myself about Alive later on. This hype sticker for a Kiss record, but not for this record. This hype sticker is on the jacket. Okay, and that's a sticker. You can catch your fingernail on it. There's an Israeli copy pressing that has this hype sticker, but it's part of the printing. You know,
so they made a copy of that.
Yeah. And it sits right where these all do. They're all right here. I don't know why that is, but you know, this is not a promotional copy, but that's on there. Now we've got, and everyone that I've seen has been a blue label too. So the very first pressing, but we had a member of the page that said that they got their copy in 1977. And they were saying it was a camel label when they were talking about it, and that it had the hype sticker on the outside. And then they came back later and put a picture of the label on that was there. Well, it wasn't a camel label, it was a Filmworks label. So, you know, it's gone from this being attached to just records in 1975 to this person said that it was, now it's on the shrink. It's not on the jacket. Okay, they don't have it anymore on the jacket. Or on the shrink even. But, you know, they went from saying that they bought it in 77, but since it was a camel label, it would have come out in 70. It would have been pressed in 76. Right. So you kind of can see, okay, maybe that's kind of interesting. From 77. Now, I'm having a hard time believing that hype sticker. Now, let me read this for those who don't see it. This is a hype sticker contains the hit single Rock and Roll All Night, which was not a single then.
Right.
And Come On and Love Me, which I love that song, and Ladies in Waiting. They were not hyping that huge hit Ladies in Waiting in 1977.
Right.
Okay. So I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it actually is the case that it happened. Maybe they don't remember. But see, that's what we can't depend on. Hell, I can't tell you. I've got records back here that, I got when I was 17 years old. I can't tell you where the hell I got them and what kind of hype stickers were on them and all that stuff. You just can't do it. You have to go based on what you got. And that's why, although, let's see, do I want to do this now? No, this is, okay, this is in order. This is in order.
Okay.
I'm going through my stuff today, and, I got this beat up piece of steel, like very typical.
Yeah.
And I got to looking, and what's that say?
CRC.
It does. And I got to be honest with you, I don't remember it ever being on there. I don't.
Huh.
And I'm kind of looking for these now. And I don't ever see Dressed to Kill with Columbia Record Club on it. And so I'm going, wow. And they're all screwed up. Just all screwed up. Some of them are printed on the jacket like that. Some of them are stickers on the jacket.
Mm-hmm.
And it has to be one or the other. It has to be. They don't put anything out that didn't have that mark. So if you, then let me move on. Some of the labels, very few of them have CRC on the label somewhere. Most of them don't. I've got a Destroyer that's got it on one label and not the other. They're just a mess. And so, it's different kind of pressings. Open this thing up,
Huh.
and it's a blue label.
Huh.
And I have never seen a record club pressing for Kiss with a blue label that you can say for sure. And I'm just going to tell you, I think I've mixed this up at some time.
Uh-oh.
This is in my hands, and I do not think I have a blue label record club pressing because I've never seen one before.
Interesting.
And it doesn't say CRC. And
Right.
if the damn thing did, I'd be going, ooh, look what I got. And so that's what I'm saying. I got this sometime.
Yeah.
I bought it. It's got CRC on it. You think I'd have looked at it.
Yeah.
But I can't tell you if I stuck another disc in there. And even if I didn't, even if I bought this at a record show, I don't believe for a second that came in there. I can't make that leap of faith.
Right.
So that's kind
By
of
the way, to step back for a second, I just noticed how good of a copy my regular first pressing is.
it is nice. It is nice.
Pretty nice.
Oh, they screwed it up though, Jason.
What?
That's a messed up copy. Hold that back up, man. Back up. So hold still. Hold still. Okay. So this upper corner by Gene, I just noticed this. The logo where it says Kiss, they left one of the S's off that copy.
What?
Do you have any idea what that's worth?
Shut up.
It ain't worth shit. They're all like that.
Well, anyway,
I never noticed that. I never noticed it.
I never noticed it either. I was freaking out.
Dude, I was sitting there yesterday when I was getting these together going, well, how did they do that? They should have been able to do it. It's on all the rest of them. Why is the damn S not on there? It just.
Well, anyway, the
And
reason,
why out there? Why didn't they put that down the bottom where nobody knows?
Man. I don't know. But the reason why I wanted to pull this out is because I bought this at the Great Escape in Nashville for. Can you see that?
No,
No.
it's kind of washed out. Hold on, almost came in. $5.99. All right.
And it's dead mint too. It doesn't look like it's ever had any.
The price sticker off, aren't you?
There's no way I'm pulling the price sticker off this record.
I found up in Columbus at one of the record stores, I found a very first pressing of Alive, mint. It's got the inner sleeves with what the hell? It's getting the image is getting closer.
Clear.
Awesome, yeah, clear. Awesome. I went to pull the sticker off and it took the fucking hide off. I'm sorry, it took the hide off of it.
That's why I'm not doing it, man.
And
I'll end up with my.
I'm going to get a hold of that record store up there. I'm going to tell them, you better get you some more stickers and stop doing this because that's ridiculous. They make stickers that'll come off.
Yeah.
So I ruined what was an excellent copy. Okay. Now, back to the blue label. So there's blue label 2s without the address. And on Dress to Kill US copies, you can find copy with silver fonts. I'm sorry. I've been corrected by one of our members, and I do appreciate this too. And I told him, I said, it's great. We've got so many people that are experts in so many different areas. This
Right.
guy's printing typeface. It's not a font. If it's on a computer, it's a font, but that black typeface. Okay, so
That's going to be a hard habit to break, isn't it?
it is. It's very hard. And
Yeah.
plus, thank you. Now instead of writing what are the FONT, instead of writing, typing 4 letters, I've got to write typeface now. So yeah, there goes.
Or you can put a little guide up at the front at typeface is T/F.
There you go. There you go. Well, I mean, I'm gonna lose 5 years of my life typing typeface now. But anyway, so and depending on where you are in the country, is which one of those is more rare or whatever. Both of them are first pressing. Then with the blue label 3 with the address at the bottom, that same thing again. There's a silver font and there's a black font. I actually still need that black font, but it does exist. And are we going to post some labels and stuff? I mean, I can shoot them to you.
Oh yeah.
All right. So there it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think we've done this before. This is usually the last pressing that you get of all these early records. It's a camel label. All right, camel label was not out all that long, so they're a little bit tougher to find.
Yep.
Not any more valuable or anything right now, but should still have the embossed jacket.
Right.
So there's that. So there you go. You can interchange that jacket between those 2 pressings.
Yeah.
Also.
I don't have camel label.
Yeah, it's a tough one, man.
Yep.
It actually is. All right, so now we'll go to the Filmworks label 1, which is just the regular Filmworks.
Mm-hmm.
And then we move to the 83, 84 pressings. I'm doing this now. You're going to see me transition calling this a Filmworks label 2. All right.
Okay.
And like I said, I'll really start doing that with the book more so than on the page. And of course, it's got the as I showed earlier, the Polygram Filmworks label, and it's got the 501 up in the corner.
I can't really see that.
I already showed it once, but let's do it again.
There you go. Do it again.
All right. Then we go to the 85 pressing, or Filmworks label 3. And again, this thing may have been pressed in 19. I mean, you can look on these 85s, and most of them actually have the date. The stampers were made
Right.
on them somewhere. That doesn't mean that's when they got pressed. They may have been used right away. They may have been used and then set on the shelf for 2 or 3 years and used again. So that's again why I call them an 85. It's just 85 on. And of course, it's got the main thing for that. It's got the printed UPC on it.
Right.
As far as for the jacket. Yeah. All right. Then the next U.S. pressing is probably the best pressing of all, especially with the jacket, is the 2014.
Oh, yeah.
This thing, man, that dude is nice. And you know what? It's funny. It's funny the way it's photographing for me, Jason, although I do kind of see it here. The band around there is a little bit more, it's more prominent gray than on the earlier pressings.
Yeah.
It is shown super gray on the photographs.
Man,
So it's a blue label also. So this is a blue label 4.
it is gorgeous, though.
Yeah, it's a nice one. It's a nice one. All right. You got any other U.S. ones?
No, I'm long
Okay.
out.
All right. Well, now we're going to move to what I have in my collection as far as the foreign stuff. And again, I just got this blue quality label Canadian in. So I've got that. There's the interesting story here. So this is my Camel label Canadian quality records. And I'm telling you, I was so mad when I got this. I mean, I was like ticked. Because again, I did not have the Camel label. This is like, I don't know, 3 or 4 years ago at a record show. And so I've been looking for that Camel label, and Camel label. All right. And I think I gave a decent amount of money for it too, because I needed it. The jacket's pretty nice, although like an idiot, I didn't notice it wasn't embossed. Okay. It's
Right.
not. And I got home and I'm going, Canada, I mean, and it was like the bane of my existence for the longest time. But this is my first Canadian copy, and I appreciate it now.
Yeah.
So,
I got, I don't want you to, I don't have many.
Jump in.
So I have the red pie.
Excellent.
So I love that.
Cool.
So I don't have very much here, so.
Well, that's all right. Well,
Go
pull
ahead.
out what you got. Pull out what you got. I don't have much here either.
Oh no, the only other thing I have is the original West German. So
Okay, good. I don't have that. I
that's
don't
the
have
only
that.
other one I have.
Yeah.
And then that's
All right.
it for me.
Okay. All right. Well, since we're talking West German, now actually pull that back up and show that again, and say what that is.
West German?
You said something else about it.
What did I say?
I thought you said the first West German.
Oh, I think I might have.
I think you might have.
What I meant, I wasn't
Correct
talking about.
that.
I was talking about. I was trying to differentiate between the logo, the 2014. My apologies.
What's the label on that? What's the label on that? I'm curious because I had someone else say something. Yep. Because I was going to say we had a member on the page the other day post that change went from the regular KISS logo that was in existence in the beginning in Germany, although they changed some stuff, but was still used up until '80, and that's when they went with the backwards Z. Okay.
Gotcha.
Now after, but this is the first German
Right.
press.
Sorry.
And I personally, again, this changing tastes. All right. I thought this was the most stupid looking thing ever, but I like it now.
Yeah, I like it too.
Because it's not on very many records. It's only on 4 of the German LPs. It's original pressing. It's blue label, and so yeah, it's interesting now, and I understand why some people don't like it.
Yes, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
So I just saw one of these.
And that is what for those that don't know.
Oh yeah, sorry. This is the Brazilian box of we've got to get rid of everything we have left in stock. When they were coming down on the Creatures tour, right? Yeah, so,
and of course, and that's obviously why they're featuring Unmasked so prominently,
right?
Because they're there on the Creatures tour.
Who knows? But,
and again, people that think that those Vinnie Vincent Creatures LPs were the promos for Brazil for the tour, that box was the promo for the tour.
That's right.
That box. All right. Okay, so and then I've got the 2014 German that mimics that earlier one. It's a blue label. Ooh. Oh yeah, if you were quick, you could have got that code number. If in Europe, my codes are still good because I'm screwed and don't get to use it.
Because none of us have the audio to listen to.
We have
to steal your download code.
Exactly. I think I'm going to do something. I won't say it. Never mind. I won't say it now. But at some point in time, some lucky person will get my downloads. I can't use them.
Yeah.
Okay. So now I've got, I believe, the first pressing.
I think that's correct.
Yeah. I got it from Alan, so it should be. And so
I have no Japanese Dress to Kill. It's sad. It's sad.
That is, especially if you have none, because there's the.
Oh no, I have that. What am I saying?
There you go. See. See. Like I say, I pulled mine all out of the box. Boy, these things, they are tough to photograph for the book. And so what I've ended up doing, and it looks better than it was, but it's still not the way I want. I've got a white board that I'll lay down, and then I've got a cap for sealing off a poster tube. And I put that on there, and then I put the record on top of that so that it's not sitting right on the white.
Right.
And hopefully it gets a little bit of light. But yeah, that's a tough thing.
Yeah.
But I don't know. They're not looking that good. Next one here, South Africa with the Loaded Gun label.
Nice.
And it's another one of these that's got the lamination on it. That doesn't photograph very well. And speaking of sealed records and stuff like that, and I posted this the other day, it's killing me. I have removed the shrink from a bunch of records.
Oh,
I had to. You can't. Yeah, and I'm not a big one for sealed records. I've actually opened a few, although I think I got it back in order. I rebought Monster Day with the second logo on it because I had to take the shrink off, the only one I had, to get the pictures. But yeah, they don't, pictures don't look good with the shrink. All right, and then we got the promo for this. Sort of. It's a Casablanca sampler from the Casbah. This is really weird. This really caught my eye even as an early collector. The code number on this thing is NBLP 000. Why did they do that? There's so many people that sell this thing and they think it's the very first record
Right.
ever put out by, and I understand that, you know. I mean, you're showing that you jump to conclusions when you say that. And then this is just weird. What's with the back?
Oh my God.
Yeah. I mean, you know, of course I've cleaned this up, photograph of the book. I took that writing off, but yeah, you couldn't be bothered putting anything on there. So what we got here from Kiss? It's everything's on Love Me, Ladies in Waiting, and Rock and Roll All Night. Because again, it's buried. That's all the songs off the hype sticker.
So you had to get a picture of the white back cover.
Oh yeah, I'll tell you. I'm taking pictures of everything, you know, front and back. Now, you know, am I going to put that in there? I may, because how many Kiss records have got a white back?
Yeah,
you know,
none. Yeah.
And so I mean, it's just odd, you know. You know, it's like in the book. I mean, I'm going to have to par this stuff down right now. One of our members, Luther is what he goes by on the page. He is just killing it with all these labels that I don't have. I mean, I got 500 here. We're up to about 1,400. We've you know actually got confirmed, and so yeah, he's got most of them. You know, I mean, it's so a lot of cool stuff coming in with that. But you know,
Wow.
I want to end up being able to show all the labels in there, and maybe people don't care. I don't know, but I do.
I can.
And I'm not going to show the front and back of jackets that are identical, you know, country to country, or maybe some minute change on it. But, you know, like the Australian Love Gun, it's got the other records on the back. That's not, you don't see it anywhere else.
Right.
That's cool. Maybe if somebody sees that, they want to try that record, you know.
That's exactly the point. I would use that book to flip through and go, wow, you know, that has a different, you know, because I don't want to collect every label variation. I want to collect every cover variation.
Yeah. So. Yeah, and you know, every single one of them is different for sure. You know, just because a little bit of typeset or whatever.
Well, sure.
But major stuff.
Right,
I mean,
that's what I'm talking about.
Until Tom Manning sent it to me, and again, Luther's got it too. And I'm not going to say the record, although I've posted the picture up before. I didn't know that there was a Kiss record on an RCA label. Never knew it.
Wow.
Never knew it. You know, and that's like, whoop, that's worth going after.
Interesting.
But that's all I got for right now. Now we got singles. What else have you got for? You got any other LPs?
No, okay. I have no LPs. No, that's it.
And again, Dress Kills in a lot of countries, but it was a weird time frame. You know, I mean, that was the first record released in Japan.
Right.
And that's kind of unusual, really, because they were kind of dying out everywhere else. So, you know, that's weird. Okay, so we've got 2 singles released in the U.S. We got Rock and Roll All Night with Getaway, obviously, of Rock and Roll All Night. And then we got Come On, one of my favorite songs, Come On and Love Me and Getaway. You know, and what was that dude's name? Oh, it just had on tip of my tongue. I'll think of it later on. Anyway, so as far as U.S. Rock and Roll All Night, so there's a mono stereo version, like always, promo, and then we've got the blue label stock copy of Rock and Roll All Night and Getaway. Nothing totally different about that. And then we got the pretty freaking rare Filmworks copy. All right. It's a tough one to find. And then in the singles box set, they replicated the Holland sleeve, which is just same on both sides there. I'm gonna start. Our buddy Hink does his like this. It's two sleeves that are hooked together.
Yeah.
It's actually very complicated for me to keep up with how to do it, and a pain in the butt. So I'm gonna do it one day, but I haven't got them like that yet. It's really handy though, man.
Yeah.
Keeps from wearing on each other. All right, and then would Come On and Love Me and Get Away Again. I don't know why they put the same song on as B-side. You got the promo mono stereo copy. This one is, decent value. Rock and Roll All Night, not so much. And then we've got the Blue Filmworks. I'm sorry, the Blue Label version. Not that tough to find. And then again, freaking super rare Filmworks one. Not that you can't find it, but it's a tough one to find.
Right.
And so this one, the one out of the box set for Come On and Love Me, is the Japanese. Now, I'm going to tell you, I tried to slide one by at Universal on this, and they caught me. There is a super rare version of this that has got a red box up in here. It's a VIP version. I think there's a red box down in here too. And I mean, that's a tough one. I mean, it's a real tough one. And so that's what I sent them. And then the back, of course, this one is showing Dress to Kill on the back of it. Right. And that one showed, if I remember right, it shows the solo albums. And so they get ready to go to press, and they go, Tom, I don't think you noticed this, but that's not the original one. Can you get it? Yeah, I can get the original one. I'm trying to do everybody a favor. I'm trying to give everybody the one they wanted. And then just to show people, Tom's got nothing really against counterfeits as long as somebody admits they're counterfeit. Here's Come On and Love Me, Get Away with the counterfeit Portuguese sleeve. And the thing on this is, that they never tried to say it was anything but that. It's actually got a hard cardboard kind of sleeve, so it's not like an original one, and then it's color vinyl.
Huh.
So you got this. How do you pronounce his name? The guy, he's a real good collector. He passed away about a year ago. Charlie Bertozzo. Yeah. I got this from Charlie.
Yeah.
And I probably keep it as much because as anything else, because he's a really nice guy.
That reminds me. I made a note, speaking of counterfeits, I always show the picture discs, the Netherlands picture discs. Just want to point out that the picture disc that exists for Dress to Kill is absolutely counterfeit.
Hang on just a second.
You got it?
I'm glad you brought that up because, number one, I've got one of them. So, yeah, that's it.
Yes.
And, it looks like the way it should be. I mean, it's got, stemmer on the back. It's, got what would be the appropriate code number. Of course, there's no number on it, and that's fine. And I got mine known as counterfeit.
Right.
But, all right.
Welcome back to Kiss My Wax. We're picking up where we got cut off the other day. What were we talking about, Tom Shannon?
To Kill.
Oh yeah, Dress to Kill.
All right. So anyway, so if anybody's confused, just a quick explanation. When we were recording last weekend, we had some technical difficulties and lost the last 12 minutes of the episode. So we're going to pick it back up and tack this on. So don't be confused about different clothing.
I got the same shirt on. So.
Oh, do you? Yeah, I don't. I got a different one. So
I did wash it.
So in the cut there, just prior to this, you saw that we were talking about the Dress to Kill picture disc, how it is definitely counterfeit, and Tom is going to talk about this this catalog that he has.
Yeah. Well, not a catalog. It's a picture disc of the world price guide.
Yeah.
I got this years ago, back in, I think it came out in either 1989 or 1990. Interesting thing about it is, these guys that wrote this, they're big picture disc collectors. They're big LP collectors in general. And so they're really not Kiss people. And I say that from the standpoint of they don't have any kind of a dog in the fight about it or anything. But you know, when you went to the Kiss section in this, and I'm not going to obviously put this right up there or anything, but you know, they got the listing of every kind of Kiss picture disc that was out at that point that they were aware of, and of course they've got all the, you know, all the catalog ones that were released in the Netherlands. You know, says in here for each one of them, phonogram. They got the code number. 1,500 copies were reportedly made. Each copy was individually numbered, and it's got the individual year for them. Some of them they've got down as 87. I want to say that some of them were listed as 86, but that may not be. But anyway, so they've got a really good documentation of it. I mean, they've even got some interview picture discs that are mentioned in here. But anyway, no Dress to Kill listed in here, no Alives, no Alive 2s. And honestly, that's how I knew several years later, when all of a sudden the Dress to Kill started popping up. That's how I knew right away they were counterfeits.
Right.
And again, I have one. It's not like, you know, if you want to finish your collection, that's fine. And you know, it probably, I don't know, I guess it carries about the same value as the regular ones.
It does, because I want one too.
Yeah.
I'd love to have that counterfeit, but I have a hard time paying $100, $125, $150 for Dress to Kill picture disc. When I just paid that much for, you know, Kiss that's numbered and Hotter Than Hell that's numbered. I just have a hard time doing that. I'm cool at $50, you know.
Yeah, so, and I traded for mine, and that's right. Me too. And you know, and it's kind of like so I've got an Alive and Alive 2 also. Well, now there's counterfeits of the counterfeits of the Alive 2, and so that's when they started losing me, when they started doing that. Which, by the way, speaking of counterfeits, you see where, and we're on Dress to Kill here. Somebody on the page is alluding to that they have found one of these counterfeit red pies for Dress to Kill now.
Yep, I think they're doing them all.
Yeah, I'm sure that they will. If you're listening to this, would you stop it with the damn red ones, and would you do a damn color that doesn't exist? Right. Why you want to ruin the ones that people are collecting, when people would gladly buy another color and not be moaning about it?
Yes.
You know,
I would probably buy some of those counterfeits if they were white or
I would.
green.
I would still call them what they are. You know, don't try to tell me it's some rare. I mean, we went off on this earlier in the episode. Don't try to go off, you know, tell me that it's some rare, super rare, unseen thing. God, I saw, and I'm going to segue off here.
Oh, boy.
I know we talked about it earlier, but I saw over on one of these poster sites, somebody was asking about, you ever seen this standee before? And it was the photo of Kiss with Eric Carr from People magazine. Mm-hmm. Okay. So you picture the makeup, all right? Just wore that makeup for that and the Palladium show, and that was it. And then underneath it was a distorted Kiss logo.
I've got that, Tom. I've got that.
I've got it too.
You got it too?
Yeah. But I don't want to get up to go get it. You've got the actual standee. Oh, thank you.
Yeah,
thank
I've
you.
got the actual standee.
Where did you get that original standee at, Jason?
I got it off eBay.
Now, let me ask you something. And again, this was a point that I made because somebody got on that page. Oh, that's a super rare collection.
No, it's not.
I know. Now, people, think for just a minute. What would that be on a store, on a counter, and be a standee at the point of sale for? What are they selling?
Nothing.
Are they selling People magazine?
Yeah, who knows?
Are they selling tickets to the Palladium show?
I don't know.
Is there some reason why they would have a Kiss logo that's not right?
Yeah, this is horrid.
Use your sense. If you like that thing, that's great.
That's why I bought it.
Always look at stuff. And I know I'm supposed to keep an open mind, and I do keep an open mind. But if it looks like a duck and it quacks like a duck, it's a duck.
That's right.
I mean, come on. That's how people end up with like I said before, an $800 copy of Creatures with Vinnie Vincent on it. Yeah. That's exactly how you end up with it. You think you found something nobody else saw, you got all excited, and you just throw all your good common sense to the wind.
I know.
So anyway.
Very frustrating. Very frustrating.
All right. So let's talk about some ads. You know, I think I've got a pretty good magazine collection with ads and stuff in it, and this is the best I can do, man. 3 magazines for Dress to Kill. And it kind of makes sense. It kind of makes sense. Now, I know we all know there was no money when Alive came out. How they decided to do that double pressing, I don't know, because they just gave up at that point. There was no press kit for it, There was at least a press kit for Dress to Kill. I had one at one time, didn't even realize what I had when I first got it, because it was a hodgepodge of other stuff. It included the booklet for the Hotter Than Hell press kit, which is actually pretty nice. Yeah, did you ever have one, Jason?
No, I don't have any of those. I have like one press kit.
Yeah, I used to have press kits, man. And in fact, I bought this box of stuff from a guy up in New Jersey, and passed on a toy guitar for like $200.
Oh.
Yeah, but I bought this box, and that Dress to Kill press kit was in there, and so was an entire first press kit, except for the folder. I mean, the envelope. No envelope and no folder. I didn't know what it was when I first got it. I mean, I really didn't. I had never seen one, and I'm like, well, this is interesting looking. And I still got all I've got left of all that is a press photo that I could have swore was faker and crap, because it's got an image that looks like the first album cover pose, but it's not quite, and it's got a weird outline around their heads, and it's like, man, this is cheesy. But yeah, it turns out it's one of the first press kits. But so you never know what's going to happen with that. But anyway,
wait a minute. What'd you do with those?
I sold them, man. I sold them. Hey, look. Here's what happens. Like, I'm very fortunate right now. I'm doing very well. Life is tough sometimes. We all know that. And you know what? I can't sit there if times got tough and tell my family, I'm not selling this shit. I bought this with our money, but I'm not going to sell this. And this goes back to that theory that I had about Gore with his endless supply of, getting better and better condition LPs. When you need to sell stuff, which that's the only reason why you sell it, because you need to sell it, you're going to sell the high dollar stuff first.
Right.
I need to churn some money. I've never sold anything without needing to sell it. That's why I don't sell records now. I like to trade. Very rarely I'm going to sell one. Even though I just posted one yesterday for sale, but nobody's interested in it. So
I saw that. Yeah.
I went on and pulled it because I don't want to fool around with it. So anyway, back to Dress to Kill. Why are there no magazines without a lot of ads in there? Well, because they just didn't have the money. Think about this. Who produced the record?
That would be Neil Bogart.
Yeah. I'm sorry. What records was he producing?
Yeah, none.
None. Exactly. So he decides he's going to take to him because he ain't paying nobody.
Right.
And you know what? I don't blame him if I'm owning that record company and I need to get some product out. And let's go. Let's record it. And so there he is, all coked to hell, and didn't see anybody complaining about that with him. But so there you go. So there's one evidence of. So that also falls into, okay, so do they have any money to promote it by buying ads? No, they do very little. I've only seen 1 or 2 ads, period. There's a fairly valuable promo poster for the record, just ugly as hell. It's very similar to, in my opinion, it's very similar to one of these ads that we're going to show. And why is that so valuable? Supply and demand.
Yeah.
All right. There ain't no supply of them.
Yeah.
All right. So if only 20 people want it and there's only 3 of them, and there ain't very many. I mean, I don't know how many there are, but there's not very many. So those 10 people are going to drive that price up. If we dump 25 of them into the market, that's a $50 poster now.
That's right.
Exactly.
That's right.
So don't get, don't confuse value with, a humongous demand for it.
Right.
So conversely, like I've said before too, and I didn't notice this as a teenager, but I have noticed it as I've rebought magazines and I'm cataloging them. man, if there is a back page ad for Kiss, the next issue they're going to be on the front cover. All right. And I guess they were all playing a game with that. You know, I mean, I understand that. You don't want it to make it look exactly like you can buy the front cover.
Right.
You know, I mean, so they're gonna put it off a little bit, but that's what it is. So since there's no money to buy ads, there's no articles. I mean, that's just the way it is.
That was a better explanation than the previous one we did. Glad we re-recorded. So.
Yeah. I'm sure it meant the same thing, but
it did mean the same thing. That was clear and concise.
All right, so let's try to start in order here. So I got a couple from March of '75. We got a Circus magazine, March of '75. It's got Peter Gabriel on the front, looking like Bono a little bit there.
Yeah.
Before Bono was Bono. And let's see, on page 41, there is something. Yeah, Kiss. Big bands hate us because we steal their audience. It's kind of weirdly laid out because there's no picture right there. But when you turn the page, got some pretty good photos.
Yes, those are excellent.
Good hotter than hell stuff.
Yeah.
Although Paul, when I'm looking at him there, he looks. Of course, you got to remember time frame so close. That looks like a shot from Love Gun era.
It sure does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Huh.
I don't know what that is, but anyway. So that's a pretty nice one. Let's put that up. All right, and then we got March '75 Circus Raves. Okay, and that's got Freddie Mercury on the front of it. And then on page 26, I think there's just a photo of Gene. Of course, if there's a photo of him, I'm keeping it. I'm not going to get rid of that. Let's see. Yeah, pretty cool. Hotter than hell photo of Gene.
Nice.
Yep.
Yeah,
that's
a cool shot.
Rock's Bad Boys. Kiss, one of the loudest groups in existence. The fire-eating boys from Brooklyn start where Alice Cooper left off in gruesome pranks and devil dares. Ooh, I double dog dare you. That's just, I don't know. Who wrote this shit?
Who wrote that shit about it?
I don't know. I'm sure it's somebody that's fighting to keep him out of the Hall, or was fighting to keep him out of the Hall of Fame. And then the third one that I've got is Circus, July of '75, with Todd Rundgren on there. And I mentioned this in the part that got ruined, but yeah, it's a close race between him and Tom Petty being the ugliest men in rock and roll.
Yeah, they could be cousins.
They could be, man, and that might be part of the problem. You know, that might be part of the problem. All right, so we got two things here. We got on page 58 a little blurb, if I recall. Stanley kissed off at Cult. So apparently Paul Stanley's ripped off at Blue Oyster Cult for stealing the laser show, which I don't think Kiss had a laser show in '75.
No.
I don't think they ever did. But anyway, and then page 41. Hang on here. You're going to have to edit that out. Sorry.
Nah, we'll leave it.
That's my wife. I cannot believe she just called me there. She knows I'm doing this. Let's see. Well, crap, where's it at? I say I've got a Dress to Kill ad on 41.
Yeah, I think this happened last time. Too.
It did, didn't it? Yeah.
You were like, where is this?
Did we find it?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it's in there.
All right. Gonna take me a minute.
That's all right.
Meanwhile, Paul Stanley will take back over.
Yeah. Entertain everybody. Here we go.
I found it.
Page 19. I don't know where the hell I got page 41.
Yeah.
So yeah. So that's similar to what that poster looks like.
Right.
Just way too busy to me. I'm guessing that maybe Neil Bogart designed that as well while he was under the influence of some cocaine. Yeah. Need more logo. So anyway, that's all I've got for that. So
all right.
So what else do we have?
Oh, I don't know. A couple things. Well, of course, I always have to. Here's my Canadian Dress to Kill 8-track.
Oh, Canadian.
Not
All
Canadian.
right.
But I didn't do this on the last one. I'm gonna do it on this one. So I have I bought this off eBay a long time ago. I don't know. I probably didn't pay attention to it, or maybe got it in a lot. But it's a Ampex Dress to Kill.
Yeah.
In a FilmWorks box, which is impossible, and sealed. So obviously it's a reseal.
No way.
So
No way.
I'm gonna open this up.
Might as well. Might as well.
Yeah. So I'm gonna open this up and see if the 8-track is in okay condition. Because this is they definitely do not belong with each other. Right?
What kind of seals on that? Is it like that hard stuff or? Wow.
Yeah. So,
Could have been a leftover laying around one. Then
Sure.
again, they ain't no unicorn.
I doubt it. Oh boy, it's in good shape though. I mean, now that you can see the whole thing,
Yeah, yeah.
it's nice and clean. It's got a
That's
good.
cool.
Yeah. So anyway, so I need a. Oh yeah, it's been played many times. But
No way, man. No way.
yeah. So I need to get me an old Ampex box or something to stick.
Well,
that
don't feel bad then for sure about opening that up.
in. No. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I wish you could. Yeah. I wish you could see it. Maybe we can. Can you see the lines in that?
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, it has been played to death. I'm sure if I stuck it in, it would start in the middle of a song somewhere, not at the beginning of the 8-track.
Yeah.
One thing, when we were recording last, I hadn't bought anything lately because we're broke. So, so anyway, so I haven't been buying much of anything. But I did get this. They released them early. I got this after we were recording the first part of this, so I wanted to show it because this guy is a good friend of ours. But I got the hard copy.
Oh,
version
cool. I thought that wasn't out till the 18th of
it's
September.
not, but Amazon's selling them.
Okay.
So,
All right. Well, I didn't even bother trying to get it yet.
And they're
Okay.
shipping, and it's the hardcover. They don't have the paperback up yet. So,
Okay.
but maybe if you get on there now, they may still have some. But it's beautiful. So anyway, Julian Gill and Tim McFate. Julian's been kissfaq.com, and he's been on the show for our live episode. I cannot wait to get into this and read it. This is probably going
That'd
to
be cool.
one of my favorite books ever.
Yeah.
It's just packed full with information about the Elder, so it's going to be pretty definitive, and all of the stuff that him and Tim have been doing. That Soul Albums book is amazing, and so I can't wait to read this. But
let me grab something too, because I had something else come in between the
Yeah.
recordings, and it's kind of interesting.
yeah, bring it.
And in the meantime, I don't think Tom can hear me. How y'all doing out there?
Okay, so nice. So we talked about at the beginning of this episode about Columbia Record Club stuff.
Yep.
I think I may have shown one of these lives that I got, and then of course I showed that Dress to Kill that I'm sitting there scratching my head because I can't remember putting it together. But there's no way in hell that I would tell somebody, oh well, there's Blue Label. I got it right here.
Right.
I mean, I'm sure at some point it got Frankensteined up, maybe by me. I don't know. And of course, the whole point of that was, we can't always rely on our memories on stuff. It's like I was reading over to Kiss Fact. They were somebody resurrected a video hoarders
Oh no!
thread. Yes, they did.
Oh god!
Yes, they did. And so somebody was talking about the shows where supposedly they recorded a live too for the album, and of course they had overdub and all that.
They did not.
I don't recall seeing cameras at that show. Hey man, in 1977, I was 17 years old, and look, I'd have been completely out of my gourd at a concert. All right. So for me to tell you, and even if I wasn't, for me to tell you that, oh, I remember seeing the video cameras at that show. Bullshit. bullshit. Nobody. My
No,
daughter's got a photographic memory, and I will assure you, she will not remember that.
no.
You know,
There's no
35
way.
years later. I mean, come on, people.
Something that would have had to have happened. Like you would have had to have run into the camera.
Yes,
to
literally
remember, right?
bopped your head.
Right.
And oh yeah, man, I remember I broke my forehead on this camera, so there was a camera there. Anyway,
Right.
so yeah. So yeah, man, you know, I mean, I appreciate people if they would say, like, I seem to remember, I think that I got this in this album back then.
Look, it's simple. Not to really get off on a tangent, because
Yeah.
a whole other side of my collecting is I am deep into
What?
archival video
What?
collecting. And anyway, it's simple.
Hoarder.
I am a hoarder. Yeah. Kiss did not spend money ever in the 70s on camera crews to film shows. The only shows that exist for Kiss on video from the 70s are shows where there are in-house cameras in the venue.
Yeah.
The Forum did not have them. There are no videos from the
Well, that's what
live
those
video.
guys said. They said,
Yeah.
I don't remember seeing cameras.
Yeah, but just to dispel
so
anything.
there you go. They backed you up.
Well, they backed me up.
Do
but
not
anyway.
recall seeing them. Okay, all right. So I've really been thinking about these Columbia Record Club and RCA Record Club. Okay, so here's two Alives.
Mhm.
You see CRCs there, right?
Clear as day.
Little rough right here. Okay.
Yeah, a little bit of
The nice one, Pete Williams, one of our members, sold to me, and the other one I got at a record store. But anyway, okay, so the one that's just ratty as can be is a FilmWorks version. Okay. No markings on the label. Curse you, Columbia Record Club, for not
Curse you.
I mean, some they did, some they didn't. I've got a damn Destroyer that's got one label that's marked, the other isn't. You know, it's just like, what the hell?
That's kind of cool, though.
And so then the other one that I got from Pete is a Camel. Okay. And so then, you know, of course you go, okay, all right, fine. But you know how we know they weren't Frankenstein? Well, this is where it gets nice to know different nuances of different records. See anything different there?
Yeah, 2-record set.
Yeah. So that's on all the 77s. All right. Or I'm sorry, or majority of the FilmWorks. So I'm not going to say it's on every one of them. And then I don't know if you can make that out. See the code numbers?
Oh yeah, sure do.
Different
798 and 998. They're different prices.
So different code numbers. So you got to feel confident that there was in fact a FilmWorks version and a Camel version.
Correct.
Now, where's the Blue Label version? Where do you think the Blue Label version is?
I don't know. It doesn't exist.
I've been thinking really hard on this.
Yeah.
It possibly doesn't. Okay. And I guess I'm going to have to, you know, if I ever do see one, we're going to have to kind of look at the jackets and hope that there's some other telltale sign. But think about this for a minute.
They would have had to have picked it up in 75 when it came out, because by 76, right? I mean, it would.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Did they get new releases that quick?
They shouldn't have. That's exactly where I was going. And
Sorry.
No. That's
Damn it!
No. That's just said it. Dude, you froze up. That's a great picture too. You're not going to be able to edit that out. You cannot edit that out.
I will not.
Froze up, dude. That is funny as shit. What a face. So anyway,
right.
before they get us again. So no, that's why I was asking you that way, because this is what you have to do on stuff. People, not me and you. I'm just saying, people, you have to think about this stuff.
Right.
There probably isn't. Why in the hell would they allow a discounter? Because that's essentially what it is. You know, they were selling them the rights to sell those records at a discount. Why would you give them the opportunity when all the sales are going on? Right. You know, you just wouldn't. You wouldn't. So it makes sense that, you know, I'll be surprised if we ever see a Blue Label, but if we do, you know, that'd be great. That'd be great. I would love to see it, you know. But yeah. So that's what I think the deal is with them. But yeah, they do us no favors. The way, let's mark this, let's don't mark that. I don't know what the hell they were thinking.
Right. Well, I think that's Dress to Kill before they cut us off again.
Yeah, I think so.
Folks,
yeah.
I don't know if y'all realize this, and Andrew had highlighted it several times in previous episodes, but I have horrible internet service in my little podunk town, so that's why we have problems. And you'll notice, I'm going to go ahead and say I apologize for all of the syncing issues in the beginning of this episode. I did the best I could to resync it, but it was completely out of sync, and it's because of my internet connection, so I'm sorry. Hopefully this section was better. I don't know. And just a quick thing on Andrew, since we didn't address it in the Bruce Kulick episode. No animosity. Andrew is a great guy. He's a good friend of ours. I just talked to him last night. He's trying to get me a good deal on a for sure authentic Tiger record player. I didn't tell you about that, Tom, but he is.
No, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So anyway, Andrew is just busy. He plays in 3 bands. He has a full-time job, and we were finding it increasingly more difficult to schedule, guests and stuff where all 3 of us could be on. So we just felt that it would be best that, if Andrew did his stuff, and Tom and I have more freedom on the weekend and during the week in the evenings and stuff, which Andrew did not have. So anyway, so don't read anything more into that. He was not Mitch LaFond, so
I still don't even know what that really means. I in general terms, I do, but I mean, it sounds like something dirty happened there. I don't know.
I know.
I don't know. Nothing dirty or underhanded happened. So,
but anyway,
damn it, it's all about me.
Yeah, so.
I mean, none of that.
Yeah. All right. So for Paul Stanley and me and Tom, we'll see you next time.
Later.
Want more wax? Visit us at www.kissmywax.net, download the show on iTunes, or email us at contact@kissmywax.net.